Jimbo's Garage.
Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome back to Jimbo's Garage. Well, I got what I think is going to be a pretty good project for you here this week. I had a client of mine ask me if I'd be interested in helping them build and design what is called a balloon cart for an upcoming event. This cart consists of wood and metal, or wood or metal, and that's the case. That's what we're going to be doing. This cart is about 4 feet wide, 4 feet long, 2 feet wide, and about 32 inches tall. And it's coming with some big wagon wheels on it. Now, I decided to look for this. I want to get the cart already done, and then I'm going to be adding a bunch of features to it. And I got online. I was able to find this at HansonWagonWheels.com. They're out of South Dakota, and they make all kinds of wagons and wagon wheels and different carts, different sorts, and I was able to find exactly what I was looking for. Now, it's coming in the raw wood form, so it's come packaged up right here. That's going to be the basis of our project, and then I'm going to be adding a bunch of stuff to it. So let's tear into this and see what it looks like. Let's get started today's video. All right, so I'm surprised the way this came, just like this. There was no physical damage at all to the containers or the boxes, and I just got these things unboxed a little bit at a time. The wagon wheels here, right there, they came in the smaller box, and the cart in the larger box. I had a hard time dealing with the larger box, so I set it up on my welding table right there and took it apart. Once I got everything all apart, there was a little bit of assembly required. All right, so here the cart is assembled. There was a little bit of assembly to it. I was able to get that done, and this is a basis of what we had to work with. Basically, this cart is going to be painted all white, and the wheels are going to be white, and I'm going to be adding some metal work to it, and some scroll work as well, kind of decorate it up a little bit. It's going to be a covered wagon type of look. I'm not going to be putting a cover on it. I'm going to leave it to the decorators to do all that with this balloon stuff that they're going to be doing. But so it's going to be an all white cart with some blackened metal, and I'm going to preserve that with some poly. So let's get to work. All right, so the metal of choice here is some 1-inch square tube hammered square bar stock here, and that just happened to have some of it, and then I didn't quite have enough, so I went to my metal supply store and got another stick of it. And while I was there, I had them bend 4 radius pieces right here. You know, and this is something I'm just a build as I go, if you will, here. I don't have any plans. I'm just trying to figure out what it is I'm doing and try to make something that looks nice. The one thing I do need is four legs to get started, one on each corner, and that's what I'm cutting up right here using the Steel Thunder. You know, the blade works really good. I've had that now for a couple of months and cutting really nice. Just punching some center punches in here for the holes. I need 2 of them on each leg. This is what I'm going to use to anchor it to the cart itself. Just got over to the mill right here, and I'm just going to drill these things out. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to set the access on one, and then I'm just going to crank it over and be able to get the other hole in there, and everything's going to be nice and centered on the piece. You know, I'm not a machinist, but I just learn these things as I go, watching other videos, watching other machinist guys, and, you know, maybe it's common sense to some, but, you know, for me, you know, just always a learning experience, no matter what you're doing. I'm always learning every day, and that's the beauty of this. All right, so there it is. I got the, these things all drilled out. It's got one more to go right there. Once I got that done, I had some burrs on there, and I just took a countersink bit and just kind of deburred them right there. All right, now it's time to get a little bit of assembly going here. And the best way I thought to do is just clamp it to the very edge of the welding table with the fixture clamps right here. Measure the distance across that I needed and clamp that down, and then went ahead and went from there. Now these radius pieces right here, I'm kind of relying on the metal supply store that they're even on both sides. That's what I'm using. I've just measured the distance from each side, and then just put a mark on that on the inner side, and then that's how I determined, this hopefully close to the center of this radius. All right, just got my cutoff wheel and just cut these tails off. Now, I want to warn you, Safety Sally's right here. I couldn't quite get through this over here, so I had to break out my 6-inch grinding wheel with no guard, turn away. Yeah, I got through it, no problem. Just mounted it up, clamped everything down, be sure everything is nice and flat to the welding table, and just went ahead and welded as much as I could in right here. And you can see there's a little gap right there. I couldn't get the cut just exactly right, but nevertheless, it's no problem. Got it all filled in. Once I got that in, flipped it around, just kind of held it in place right there, and did the remaining welding right there. All right, so I just repeated the same process with the other one, and just like that, I got my two end pieces. So now I've got something that's starting to take shape right here. All right, so I did decide at this since I just got started with this was my first welds. I did decide I want to go ahead and grind these down, but I later regretted doing that. I decided that for the remaining part of the project after this, that I wasn't going to weld them down. You can see that doesn't look too bad. It actually kind of fits the decor. But by me welding or grinding these welds off right here, that wasn't a good choice. I should have just left them. So you see, you got mill scale on those pieces, and now I got shiny areas where it was ground off. But no problem. I later got some metal blackening in there and got that all cleaned up, and you couldn't tell that any grinding even took place. So now it's trying to stand things up here, and I'm just kind of eyeballing them, getting everything nice and square as I can. And that looked pretty good at that point. I got my cross piece in, just rolled it over, and I'm going to drop the next one in here. And just get everything clamped down, held into place. Man, that's really important to hold things down. I'm telling you, things start moving around on you when you start welding stuff like this. And by keeping things that clamped down, it just stays in place. All right, well, there it is. The basic frame is up, and I told you you saw earlier that I had 4 of these radius pieces, and I wasn't certain if I was going to use them all or not, and I decided not to. 2 wasn't enough. 4 was too much. It looked a little busy, so I just decided to go with the one in the center, and I think that just added good balance to it. It looked pretty good there. And then just after getting everything tacked into place, I just went around and just welded all the open areas and be sure and sealed everything off. You know, it's exciting to see these things starting to take shape and start to take form, and I'm still trying to figure out what I'm doing as I'm going along here. This is a piece I decided, okay, now it looks like this, so I better put a cross piece across here. And so I did that on either side, got both of those in, and then I decided that that actually looks pretty good, and I'm going to go with that, but it looked like I needed one in the center, so I went ahead and I got the center one in there as well. You can see that shiny area up there from when I ground down. I will take care of that a little bit later on with some metal blackening. And then I just rolled it over, and this is the center piece. I ended up cutting it just a little short. You can see I got a little spacer in the bottom there. No worries. Once I got everything tacked into place, then I went ahead and started welding everything around, all the joints, all the areas that I didn't catch before. You know, I'm operating off the HTP ProPulse 220 MTS here. You know, this is the latest and greatest machine from HTP. It is a multi-purpose machine, MIG, TIG, and STIG. I'm operating off of the MIG function, obviously, here. I have dabbled with the stick and the TIG as well. That might be coming in upcoming videos right here. I'll be using those functions. You know, I'm using 30 thousandths wire on this, and the wire feed speed is right about 250 to 260. That's where I like it for most of the stuff that I do. And for this machine, and for me, that's pretty consistent. All right, so I'm just sitting here. This is what I needed to do for some more decor. I wasn't certain what, but I had to do something, and I just grabbed some of this 1/4-inch round bar stock and just cut 3 pieces, and I'm just kind of filling in both ends in the center. Again, this is just something that's just added a little decor to it. You know, making the aesthetics just look a little bit better and give it a little something. It just looked a little plain at that point, but this gave it a little bit something. And I just tacked them into place right there. Again, there's no structural value here. This is all aesthetics at this point, just trying to give a little look to it. And then these curly cues or scrolls, you know, I get these things here at kingmetals.com. I get a lot of people ask me where I get my decor, and that's where I get it. They have a variety of just about anything for fabrication. So these 2 bigger ones on the back right here, they made it look pretty good. And then I got some smaller ones for the front. That kind of gave it some good balance. That's about all I have time for in this video here today. Thanks for watching. Stay tuned for the second part of this video, and we'll see this thing all finished up. We'll see you guys on the next video.
See you next time on Jimbo's Garage.